In 2022, when I was a 16-year-old, I took this girl back to my place. We were alone, the energy was there, but something happened. And when it did, I was ashamed of myself and I didn't even understand it at the time. But now, I know exactly why it happened. So if you've never had intimacy and you're craving love, please watch this to the end. So this girl's name is Nessa, and I met her my freshman year of high school. But I was in a relationship, so I kept curving her for that specific reason. But fast forward to 2022, I was single and ready to mingle. So let me tell you what happened. It was a day I was just leaving the barbershop. I just got me a fresh cut, feeling good, and I just want to kind of go out and just, indulge in whatever the world had in store for me. So I went to the mall. At the time, I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So it was this mall called Mayfair Mall. I went there. And when I got in there, I pretty much was hungry. So what I do, I went to the food court because I'm trying to eat some food. You feel me? I'm trying to get my body feeling good. My stomach growling. I need to get me some food. So I go ahead and I go to the food court. And guess who I see as soon as I step foot in there? Nessa. So I see Nessa and I instantly start thinking back to all the times where she would kind of be flirting with me and I would kind of have to, because I was in a relationship. But now that wasn't the case. So as soon as I see her, I say, "Hey Nessa, what's up?" She looked to the side like, "Is that you, Emery?" I'm like, "Yeah, how you doing?" She, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm doing good. I'm feeling amazing. I'm trying to see if that's the same with you, So we get to going back and forth in a little conversation. Okay, we talking and shit. I'm just asking her like, "Yeah, so what you here for? What you got going on for the day?" She telling me things like, "I'm just here with my friends and whatnot. We went to the food court. I know they out there doing their own thing, but I'm just chilling right now." I said, "Okay, cool, man. You chilling right now. You looking so good while you doing it too. I'm so glad I got to see you today. So I'm talking about shit right now. Okay. She's like, "Yeah, I can say the same about you. You know, I ain't seen you in a while either. How you been?" So we get to going back and forth, catching up a bit. But here's the thing. In my head, I know I'm trying to take this somewhere. I don't know where it could go, but I'm trying to see how far it can go. So I say, "Yeah, so you ain't got nothing going on for the rest of the day?" She say some shit like, "Nah, I'm just chilling today. I don't really got too much planned." I said, "Shit, come catch a vibe with me. Let's go grab some food." She said, "Okay, here in the food court?" I said, "Nah, I know a spot. I think you'll like it." She, "Okay." So look, now she's just agreed for us to go ahead and continue our date elsewhere because, like it or not, motherfucker, this was happening. You know what I'm saying? Because I just knew it was happening. That's the type of confidence I had. So she tell her friend like, "Yeah, I'm finna go hang with my friend and whatnot. I'll be right back." So she tell her homegirls or whoever the fuck she was with. It looked like she was with a nigga too. I don't know if that's the nigga she was on a little date with, whatever the case may be. I knew that she was coming with me though. So she tell me like, "Yeah, I'll be back. I'm finna go hang out with Emery and whatnot." They're like, "Okay, cool, do you?" So she come with me. We go ahead. We leave the mall. We go to my car. You know what I'm saying? Hey. And here's what I'm about to tell y'all. We got in that car, and she like, "So where we going to?" I said, "We're going to Chick-fil-A." She said, "Chick-fil-A?" I said, "Chick-fil-A." I'm trying to make that shit sound exquisite. Some shit she never heard of. But she caught on to that shit. So I'm like, "Okay, yeah, we going to Chick-fil-A." I said, I just want to get some food and kind of chop it up with you in the car and shit. She like, "Okay, let's do it." So we go ahead, we pull off. You know what I'm saying? We go ahead and make our way over. Chick-fil-A was only about 5 minutes away. It wasn't nothing too far, nothing too crazy. So we go ahead and make our way. Cool. I'll go ahead, you know what I'm saying, drive up in Chick-fil-A. And guess what? What you want, baby? She, just give me a little 10-piece and give me a fry too. Give me a fry. I said, "Okay, cool. Yeah, can I give me a 10-piece and a fry? For my girl right here. And then for me, I like to give me a 10-piece as well, a fry, and give me a little frosty, a little ice cream shake, whatever the fuck." Okay, that'll be 10, 20 something, whatever the fuck the price was. She like, "Oh yeah, let me give you my car." I said, "Baby, relax. I got this. You just sit back, enjoy your time with me." You know what I'm saying? Put out my car. I put out my car smooth as fuck. I was like, take the car. Now that shit would have been so embarrassing if that shit declined. That shit would have been embarrassing. But I like, I just had that confidence. I knew that she wasn't declining because I was getting money at the time. I was getting money, motherfucker, and I still am. So I go ahead, that shit go through. I said, all right, I appreciate you. Like, you have a nice day, all right? And we will too. We go into the drive-thru, you know what I'm saying? We going through that motherfucker. She's like, okay, you got me, huh? I said, baby, you know I got you. That shouldn't even be a question. Like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I was feeling like that nigga that day. I was feeling like the man. Like, you can't tell me shit. Alright. Man, that's how I'm finna go out today. As soon as I get done shooting this video, I'm finna go ahead, give me some food, step out, and look good doing it. So look, I go ahead get the food, boom, boom, you know, okay, we out of there, we go ahead, we grab the food and park. Now listen, y'all, we parked the car. I got Nessa on this side in the passenger. I'm in the driver's seat. And I'm just sitting here kind of looking at her. You know what I'm saying? Looking at her up and down. She like, why you looking at me like that? I say, shit, because I know you finna eat that, but you looking so delicious. I don't know which one look better, you or the food, you know? But I digress. So we get back to flirting, you know, and just eating, you know, and really just chopping it up, catching up with everything that was going on, right? Now, look, in my mind, I already knew, like, if I got this far, I know I can get farther. So I want to take her back to my crib, right? But I got to play this shit smooth. Look, now I knew I wanted to get her back to my room, but I knew my room was, I ain't gonna lie, it was a little bit messy. You know, I had clothes everywhere. I didn't have no food and like no nasty shit like that, but I just had my clothes everywhere. My bed was unmade and everything was just all over the place because I was doing laundry. So I'm like, I'll go ahead and I slick text my mom. I'm like, right here on the side, I got my phone here. I tell my mom, I'm like, yeah, you clean my room, ma. You know, I text it, send it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just talking next to you know what I'm saying? Acting like I ain't doing shit, just on my phone a little bit. Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Man, hit me back. Shit. Hell no, I ain't finna clean your fucking room, boy. You better clean your own shit. You know how that be. So I'm like, damn. I said, yeah, hold on this. Like, I'll pay you. I'll cook dinner. You know, I'm just trying to give her some type of ultimatum, some type of way to solidify that she'll go ahead and do it. She like, boy, fine. You know, I said, okay, look. Now I know that this could potentially go somewhere. Like, I know I can get her back to my crib so we can have us a good time. Cool. Couple minutes go by. 5 minutes go by. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling Nessa, like, yeah, man, you know, I kind of want to see a movie. You want to see a movie? Nessa say something like, yeah, you want to go to the movie theater? I say, you see, I love that. I know this one movie theater called DC. She said, DC? What's that? I said, baby, they got nice, comfortable bedding, a nice TV, a place we can lay our heads and we can even talk. It's even a one-on-one type of vibe. You feel me? It's damn near no one else there. She said, is that so? At this point, she knows I'm talking about something that only I know of. The crib. You know what I'm saying? The crib. So she said, okay, I think I like that. So I go ahead. I said, for sure. As soon as she said that, Mom sent the text. It's done. Cool. So I go ahead. Well, let's make our way over. We don't want to keep her waiting. She said, okay, I got to, you know what I'm saying? I said, I go pull it off here on me. She has the audacity to want to play some music. Now, I'm like, you trying to touch my music now? But I'm like, you know what? Go ahead and do your thing. Go ahead and do your thing. She get to play some low-end Milwaukee. She get to playing some low-end Milwaukee, low vibrational music. Some shit that I couldn't really get with. You feel me? I just never been the type of nigga to listen to Milwaukee type music like that, especially if it wasn't like some good music. I can't even tell you what it was, but I'm just sitting there. I'm sitting there just, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm in that motherfucker. I'm just feeling good because I just know I'm finna go ahead and take this motherfucker to pound town. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, play everything you want. Do what you gotta do. Cause baby, you gonna do you, I'ma do me, and I might do you too, you know? So we go ahead though, and we making our way to my crib. And I would say about 15 minutes, we get there, right? So we get to the crib, She's like, okay, you got a nice little face. I said, yeah, baby. But hey, ain't shit about a little, you know. You got some nice motherfucking scenery, beautiful nature. You know, I'm just kind of, you know what I'm saying, gassing up my place just a little bit because I know I live in a nice little spot. So we go ahead, I'm gonna open the garage, bow, hit the button, the garage door open, and I just go ahead and I pull in. You feel me? I pull in and I tell her like, hey, we got somewhere to be. And that was my favorite. Like, I've said this so many times, like, hey, then we got somewhere to be. So she go ahead, she said, and I don't want to keep it waiting. She go ahead and exit the door, you know what I'm saying? I exit my door, we close the door, and we make our way into the crib. Now, we go into my house. From my garage, you go into the house. Boom, you at the dining room, you turn left, that's the kitchen. You keep going straight, it's like another little seating area, and plus the living room, but then you turn right, go straight down the hall. In front of it is the bathroom. To the right is my mama room. And to the left is my room. We go ahead and we make our way to my room. All right. So we go to my room. I didn't even think I would make it this far. I'm like, shit. This what confidence do for you when you just know you that. You just know you that. You know, you just. So we go ahead. We go into the room. I tell her, lay down, make yourself comfortable. Mi casa, tu casa, baby. Make sure you make yourself at home. Okay, now, look now. She lays down on the bed. She gets comfortable. And I cut on Netflix, because we finna Netflix and chill, but we not finna be watching Netflix. That Netflix gonna be watching us. All right, let me just tell you something. Boom. I asked her before the movie started, I'm like, hey, you want a massage? She said, I think I like that. So I say, just wait here. I'll be right back. So I go into my bathroom and I grab me some coconut oil. Now, don't ask me how I knew or why I have this. I'm a freaky ass teenager, y'all. I'm freaky as hell. I've known shit. I've been through other experiences, as you can tell from the previous story times or videos you probably watched on my channel. If you haven't, you can go ahead. But I have some experience in the game of intimacy and making a woman feel pleasure. Okay? So I'll go ahead and grab the coconut oil and I'll make my way back into the room. Now, I get into this room and she gets to just looking at me. I said, yeah, I got the oil. I think it's time for us to begin. Cut the movie on. Oil in my hand. I said, hey, go ahead and, remove your shirt. I wouldn't want to get no oil on it, She said, okay. Go ahead. She come out of shirt, Now she's in she got her undergarments and then she got her pants on. But slowly, piece by piece, I kept going with the, don't want to get that wet. I got to make sure I get this part. Maybe you should go ahead and take those off. So she's just going ahead and removing pieces of clothing now. And me, what do? I do the same thing. Each time she removes a piece, I remove a piece. And I do it by saying, I don't want to get this one. You might want to take that off. I also take mine off as well. I just knew what I was doing. I'm just breaking it down. And before you know it, there were no more clothes left. Now at this point, the massage is going right. And I'll go ahead to stick my coin into her coin machine. That's what we're going to call this. Now, I stick my coin to her coin machine. Everything goes good. And we do the dupe, right? For about 5 minutes. But then we decide we want to change up the game, right? We want to change up the game a little bit. So I take my coin machine out and we change up the game, switch the positioning, if you know what I mean. And when we switch the positioning, I try to insert my coin again, but something happens. The coin was rock solid, but for some reason, it just kind of, when I tried to insert the coin, it just didn't go. It seemed like it just got soft and it just wouldn't get back rock solid. So I'm sitting here like, okay, hold on. So I kept trying. I'm like, hey, Nessa, you think you can get the coin back up again? You can get the coin hard? For some reason it just gets soft. She said, yeah, for sure. So she's using her hands at first to get the coin right. She's like, you ready? I'm like, maybe she used her mouth. Now she's saying things like, I don't usually do that. I don't usually, use my mouth to, you know what I'm saying? And I go, baby, we already this far. You know, I usually don't do these type of things either, but I'm willing to do them with you. And I guess that got her, so she go ahead and use her mouth to go ahead and do her thing on the coin. She's, you know, doing her thing, and I'm just sitting there like, y'all, it wasn't her that was the problem. It was me. My coin was soft. It just wouldn't go back up. At this point, she's trying and trying. About 5 minutes go by, and I'm just sitting there like this. She look at me. I said, so she just stops, lays on her back, and just stares at the TV. I'm like, you know, the coin is acting kind of funny. I think it's because I ate an edible earlier. That's why it's doing this, you know? She said, well, I'm ready to go home. That kind of hurt. It hurt pretty badly. I go ahead and take her home, whatnot. It's a pretty much a silent ride there a little bit, and I go ahead and come back to my home. Let me tell you the real reason why the coin wasn't coiny. The reason my coin wasn't coiny was because the night before I was watching coin and I was beating my shit back to back to back to back. I went 6 rounds total. 6 rounds back to back. And I never knew I could do that. I was honestly flabbergasted and I amazed myself, but I did it. I was fucking embarrassed. I was like, damn, because I couldn't tell her that. Moral of the story, stop watching that porn. Moral of the story, and I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna say porn. Stop watching porn. Stop watching it. It can truly ruin your performance with a real woman. And on top of that, it makes you objectify them and look at them as pieces of meat. It caused me problems, and I certainly don't want to have that happen to you. Learn from my mistakes, okay? Now, if you're someone looking to the feature lust so you can obtain confidence and attract the women you want, I created the Lust Detox ebook to help you do so. Just click the first link in the description and I'll personally send it to you. Now, make sure you subscribe to the channel and watch that next video on the screen, wherever it is. Maybe it's here, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.